Let's take a look at the key parts that make up a typical home water system. First is the well itself, a shaft or deep hole in the ground extending down into the water-bearing formations. The average well is about 200 feet deep, and most are drilled by specialized drilling equipment. Casing must always be placed in the top part of the drill hole to prevent the risk of surface water getting into the well. In some types of rock formations, casing may extend much deeper to prevent the hole from caving in. Some wells use a well screen to let water in and to keep sand out of the well. A pump is needed to get water out of the well and into the home. Water from the aquifer is pumped from the well into a pressurized tank, which stores water for use when the pump is not running. From this distribution point, water is piped to individual use points in the home. The planning, design, and construction of a water well and home water system needs to take account of geology and environmental conditions at the building site. Several techniques are used to drill water wells. The most common is the rotary drilling method. Other methods are cable tool, jetting, and driven well points. In rotary drilling, a drill bit is attached to a string of drill pipe. As the drill string is rotated, the bit acts as a grinding machine. Cuttings are flushed upward and out of the hole by circulating a special drilling fluid called drilling mud down through the drill pipe and back to the surface. This drilling fluid also serves to cool and lubricate the drill bit, and by stabilizing the wall of the hole, it can prevent possible cave-in before the casing is fitted into the hole. In areas of hard rocks, many drillers prefer to use a rig that operates by compressed air to operate a down-hole air hammer to break up the hard rocks. The compressed air also blows the crushed rock fragments to the surface and any water that flows into the well during drilling. Another drilling technique uses a pounder machine, usually referred to as a cable tool drilling rig. With this method, a heavy bit is attached to the end of a wire cable, is raised and dropped repeatedly, pounding its way downward. Periodically, cuttings are bailed out of the hole. The method is slow and in most places has been replaced by rotary drilling. The cable tool method is responsible for millions of successful wells around the world. No matter which method of drilling is used, the hole is usually lined with steel or plastic pipe called well casing. The type of casing used is determined by local geological conditions and the chemical quality of the groundwater. In most states, there are recommended well construction standards. The diameter of the drilled hole is usually an inch or two wider than the diameter of the casing. The space between the drilled hole and the casing has to be filled to prevent surface water from migrating downward along the outside of the casing and contaminating the aquifer. This filling is called grout, and it may be either cement or a special clay called bentonite. Sometimes, most of the space is filled with fine rock pieces from drilling, and then the top 20 feet is grouted with cement or bentonite. If the well is drilled into rocks that are crumbly or into sands and gravels, a well screen probably will be needed. The well screen is a sieve or strainer-like cylinder attached to the bottom of the casing. It allows water to flow into the well while preventing fine rock particles or sand from entering. Well screens are not all the same, and the well driller will select the opening size of the screen depending on the size of the rock fragments or sand that make up the aquifer.